Hi kids! For today's recipe, we're gonna make herbed roasted Parmesan acorn squash. So these are generously donated through our partnership with Grow Local. So they help us give you all this fresh produce. And this is a really cool one because we don't see this too often. We see it in our winter time. So it looks like an acorn. That's why it's called acorn squash. But you are gonna need your parent today to cut the acorn squash for you. So I'll show you how to do that. So you're gonna need a sharp knife, and you're just going to kind of put it on its side because we're going to cut it in half. You can do it like this, or you can face it down and cut it in half too. So we're going to cut it in half just like that, and this is how it looks in the inside. And now we're going to just scoop the seeds out just like we would a pumpkin. Okay, and don't worry, the seeds aren't that messy. They come out fairly easily, as you can see. So just go ahead and scoop all that seed out with a spoon, just like that. And you can always save the seeds for roasting if you like, but we're not going to do that today. So we're actually going to get each half and put it face side down, just like that. And then we're going to cut this acorn squash into strips, okay? So we're just going to take our knife and cut down. You are going to need your parents' help to cut this squash because it is kind of hard. So when you come back, I'll have all this squash cut up for us. Okay, so now we have all of our acorn squash that has been cut into strips just like this. So as you can see, just pieces like this. We're gonna throw them into a bowl. So it's an empty bowl. Make sure all those pieces are separate, okay? And now that we have them all in a bowl, we're going to season them up. So we're gonna have just some green mixed seasoning, and this is kind of sort of like Italian seasoning, just has a lot of seasonings in it. Got some garlic powder, salt and pepper, and some oil. So you can use any oil of choice, okay? And now we're just going to coat all of our nice squash with those spices and our oil. We want to make sure it's all nice and coated, and then we'll come back right when we're ready to put them on our cookie sheets. Okay guys, now that we have our squash in our bowl and I've already mixed all of our seasoning into it, we're going to put it on a sheet pan with foil. Okay, so just dump it all on our sheet pan. And then we're going to want to make a nice even layer, so just distribute your squash evenly so they cook evenly. And after this is where we put our cheese on them. So just get all your slices nice and even, just like that. And then from here, we're going to get our Parmesan cheese, and we're just going to dust it over the top. And if you really want that cheese to stick on, you could go ahead and pat it into the squash. Otherwise, you can just do this. And as soon as you get your cheese on all your squashes, you're gonna place them in your 400-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then once the cheese is golden brown, at about the 25-minute mark, you're gonna take them out, let them cool, and they're ready to eat, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in our oven, and we'll see you when they're ready. So it's been about 20 to 25 minutes, and our acorn squash is nice and cooked. So as you can see, our skin has gotten very dry. Our Parmesan cheese has already crusted over our squash. We have our herbs nice and cooked for us. So now all that's left to do is just eat them. So you can eat them as a side, you can eat them as an appetizer. They're so delicious. They're gonna be so sweet and tasty. And this is our acorn squash, courtesy of Grow Local.